Well, it's been quite a while since I posted a video. I did hope actually to be getting at least one tutorial video every couple of months last year, but it's been quite an amazing year really. I've spent a lot of money trying to get things together, still working full time and doing this part time. My name's getting out there more. I did the Kickstarter this year, that went really well. Plan on doing maybe a couple more Kickstarters next year, but from the first week of January next year I'm going to start doing a journal. This year turned out that I ended up rushing trying to get everything ready for Christmas again. I have a lot smaller stock this year than I've had on previous years, and next year I need to make some big changes in that. I need to be getting my stock made early in the year, in January, February time. I need to start piling on and getting the stock done then, hopefully get another Kickstarter done March, April time. So I've been working on the business plan for next year. I did complete the business plan for this year, all apart from the YouTube videos. So what the plan is, the reason I'm doing this today, it's really an update to tell you what's coming up. Bought a lot of equipment over the year because I've sort of expanded what I've been doing. So I've ended up, well, this shed here is 7 foot by 10 foot, and I used to be able to hold the 2 bandsaws in here and my router, and it worked well enough. I had my sanding equipment in here. This is the warmest of all the sheds. It actually has heating in this one, just a radiator, but it has heating. I still don't have electrics in here, and that's something I do need to think about. I need a fuse box for some of this equipment. But from January onwards I'm going to be starting to redo all the sheds. I've got to change everything around. I've now, even my house, every room in my house has got either a piece of equipment or wood sitting in it or completed boxes. So next year I'm going to do a journal each week about me getting everything in order. It'll be starting by completely gutting this shed here and rearranging the tools. With this being the warmest shed in it, I want all the main tools in here. I'm going to take some footage. I have built, over the year, I've built another 3 sheds. They're only small, 6x4, and one houses a lathe, one houses a sanding equipment, and the other one houses wood that I buy. I have wood everywhere, or just all different stages. Some's wet, some's near enough dry, so that I've got it in every shed, and even in the house, in probably every room in the house I have chunks of wood. So as you've seen last year I got the X-Carve, and that is, the footprint to that is just over a metre square, and when you're only looking at 7 foot, putting a metre right in the middle of it, it just cuts the shed right in half. This machine is going to be going indoors. I'm going to be building an extraction system, which it may well run into the house, or I may have a separate system that will run just for this machine. I could have something a little bit smaller for the amount of times that I use this. And I've also got a laser engraver, which I've had about 9 or 10 months now, never got it set up. So that will be going indoors as well, and then I'll be able to I have a lathe now, so I'm hoping to get the lathe in here with the 2 bandsaws and the sanding equipment, so that on the winter nights I have better lighting in here. I need some more strip lighting, another 2 strip lights. So all these benches have to come out in here. I'll put some better footage on, because I've got that much stuff, I can't even find a stand to put the phone on. So I've actually got it balancing on the bandsaw at the minute. There's just too much stuff, it's just too chaotic, and it actually is making the boxes slower because I'm having to move stuff around all the time when I'm making. So I'm going to show you around. I'll show you in here just so that you can see how chaotic it is, and then I'll take you through and show you the other sheds. from the first week in January. It'll only be a short video, maybe 5-10 minutes. That seems to be what people say is about the right length of a video. It's about 5 to 10 minutes. So these will be only 5 to 10 minutes, just an update about what we're doing this week. I shall probably not in January, or maybe not in February, but by March I hope to start up doing the tutorials again, and hope to at least have 1 to 2 a month tutorials. And the journal will be, I'm going to just keep that up for the next 12 months anyway. Once a week there will be a video. Even if I've done nothing, I'll be telling you that I've done nothing, which is very unlikely unless I go away. That's the only time I don't come out to the shed, at least once a week. So anyway, enough of me chatting. Okay, here's the view I've got from the doors on the outside coming in. As you can see, it's just total chaos. I've got the second most used bandsaw there. That's the one I tend to use the most. I'm hoping to purchase the new one of those next year at some point as well. I've got the scroll saw, and then it's the vacuum chamber, the mains, the wiring coming into the shed. I've got a mini oven, that's for drying some small pieces of wood, normal moulds. Down here is the motor to run the X-Carve. That virtually takes the whole back of the shed up. I've got drawers and that in underneath, but I can't get to those. There's the DeWalt planer. I haven't even tried it yet because I've got no room to try it. That's just absolutely stacked with wood. And in the other side is just different tools. So as you can see, there's not much room. I use that step here because with the bandsaw being on these tops, they're too high, so I actually have to stand on something. The idea will be to have small wheel trolleys for each of the machines so that I can move them around. So that if I'm using a particular bandsaw, I can pull it forward, use the bandsaw, have plenty of room. Plan on doing maybe like a fold down worktop that'll go up against the side, maybe 1 or 2. And that's how I plan to use this space in here. The lathe will go right at the back. Right, let's head off to the other sheds. This is currently the 4x6 shed that holds all the sanding stuff, and my drill press. There's also ended up wood in here all over the place. That's a table saw at the bottom, which I just have no place to put it, and I could really use it. So it's just too chaotic. Only a tiny space to stand in there for using the machinery again. So it's just got way out of control this year with all the stuff that I've managed to purchase. I'll take you on to the next shed now. Okay, this is the shed with the lathe in. Once again, just a 4x6 shed, so only a small amount of space there. It works perfect at the minute, but it'd be a lot better if it was in the big shed. It gets really cold out here, and the only lighting I've got is the 2 spotlights in here, so everything has to be done in daylight hours. And you virtually, once I shut the doors down, you've virtually just got that spotlight. But other than that, it's great. It does what I need it to do at the minute. Okay, we'll go on to the last shed. Okay, this is the last shed. I've got some slabs of Douglas fir and loads of bears, and the lawnmower. It does what it's supposed to do, this one. Managed to get hold of a barrel and hope to do some tea lights and stuff, but just not had much chance to get anything done this year. But this is the third shed, and it will be kept for this big slabs of wood and stuff like that. I do have a smaller shed, but the roof's caved in, which usually holds the lawnmower, so that's why that's in here. So hopefully next springtime I'll get the roof on the other. It's just a small dog house. I'll get that done and we can get the lawnmower out of here then. But you know, this will continue to be a woodshed. So that's this one here, and then the lathes in there and the sanding equipment's in the bottom one there. All three of these will be just used for storage of wood, because wood is the biggest problem I've got at the minute. It's taken up everywhere. So if I use just these 3 sheds for all the wood, it should make things a little bit easier. Okay, that's me back in the main shed now, and I wanted to show you just some of the other stuff. The reason it all got waylaid last year is I then decided, after I'd got the lathe, of going into making resins. I'm going to show you that now. Okay, this is how I ended up getting very waylaid last year into what I was making, and ended up on YouTube watching some videos about making resin. And when I got the lathe, I decided that I'd have a go at, well, first of all, making the resin blanks. So this is a wooden resin one, and this one's just clear resin, and that's stamps on the barrel. So I thought I'd have a go at making some of this stuff. So I've made these resins and then obviously turned them on the lathe, and it's CA finish that I've used on those. This is the pens. Both of them are wooden, a mix of wood and resin. Yeah, you can't really see very well, but and like I say, they're CA finished. That's bits of Purple Heart there. It's a bit of a mix of wood in that one. So I ended up getting into that, and I actually really enjoy the lathe. So I'm hoping to start making some maybe resin and wood boxes on there. That's the plan really in the future. So that's how I ended up getting the vacuum chamber, and to degas all the resins, and it works actually really well. A lot of people said I had to use the pressure pot, but so far so good. I've made all of these and they've just been in the vacuum chamber, and I mean, as you can see, I don't get any bubbles in it, the vacuum chamber, and then it's just crystal clear. That's just a marking at the bottom, but yeah, beautiful clear, no bubbles in it at all. So that's some blanks I've got ready to make a couple of pens today. So yeah, still obviously you make the boxes, that just carries on as normal, and with the Christmas coming up, I have tea lights and things going and coasters and stuff like that. But yeah, so I maybe do some stuff on how I make this with the vacuum chamber. There is loads and loads out there. I mean, that's how I found out about it. So if you're wanting to go and find out, there's plenty out there to show you how to do all of this. So I think this might be longer than 10 minutes, not quite sure. But so that's what the plan is anyway. I'll start the journal from January onwards, and you might be interested in following, just seeing where I get to, and also about expanding it. Still, I mean, I can't see me being able, really at the moment, not for the next 12 months, being able to do anything about my hours. I'm going to have to continue to work 9 to 5. I mean, full time. But I'm hoping to actually maybe pick up a job that's 9 to 5, which would free my weekends, making craft fairs possible. But we'll just have to see how the next year goes. But yeah, I'm back in January. Like and subscribe if this is what you fancy, and we'll just work through this together and see what happens in the next 12 months. Whole 52 weeks away, it might be a totally different story altogether. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and hope to see you back soon.